guys, we just wrapped up our show. I'm Alexia Maria reporting for Hallowed Connections inside Tan Talk Radio. I'm here with
Ken Jewell of the Outpatients.
And Tori Lewis.
All right, so two members of the Outpatients. If you guys were listening, which you should, if not, you should check out the podcast and the live stream that we did. They are two musicians. She does the bass, and you do the songwriting and the singing. They're really talented. We played a few of their songs, and it sounds super great, and they're going to be doing a lot more performances coming up, so we'll definitely ask them about it. So, can you tell us how you guys were formed?
Yeah, we started actually back in the early 90s. There were 5 of us from a local high school, Clearwater Central Catholic, and we decided we wanted to play music together, and so it kind of started there, and then we've kind of evolved into a much better looking bass player, and when Tori came as part of our band, and so we started out as basically a 5-piece, and now we're up to 7 pieces. We've got a keyboard, 2 guitar players, and yeah, it's kind of more of a full sound than we've ever had before.
Oh, so how did you get into bass playing?
Oh, I used to play the flute in high school, and I was going to become a professional flautist, but that's not very conducive to rock and roll, which I love. So when I was in 93, in May, I wanted to learn how to play the bass. On the last Saturday, I went out and bought one. I bought an amp. I signed up for lessons. I played an hour a day for 2 years. I was in my first band for New Year's from that May. My first band was called Bad Idea, and it was a bad idea, honestly. And I've just been playing in bands ever since. I've played with Bo Diddley Jr. I've played in some great bands, but by far the Outpatients are the absolute best. I could not be in a better place with these guys. They're fantastic.
That sounds great. And what is your genre of music, would you say?
It's a good question. Probably we're sort of considered alternative, but I would say we're more like a pop rock style. So we try to be upbeat. I think one of the things that people like to come out and see us and they enjoy about us is that you can get up and dance and get moving. So we've been trying to carry that on to our original music as well.
And what would you say your personal favorite thing is about music? Like, what do you like most about music and writing and singing?
Yeah, so I love the process. I love the creative process. I love starting out with an idea and then watching it turn into something close to what you started with, but totally different. So it's kind of an amazing process to watch it go. And there's a creative part of it, and then there's also sort of that very technical engineering part of it. So you almost have to have two sides of your brain that work at the same time. But really, most of all is once you've created something to see people enjoy it is really you can't even put words to it. It's really an amazing process. So if you're fortunate enough to write something that people enjoy, it's even that much more fulfilling.
And what would you say your favorite thing about music is?
I love the creative part as well, but I think performing and just playing. I could play music all day long. And when we play these originals and or when we're creating them and the live practicing and everything clicks or somebody plays some cool drum lick or something and we're like, oh my God, that is the best thing ever. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now. So I think the playing of it is what I really enjoy.
Wonderful. And so can you tell us what we have here?
Yeah, this is our EP. It's called Fall from Grace, and we went up to Nashville last October and recorded in 2.5 days.
Wow.
It was a whirlwind tour, and it just blew my mind. It was incredible. Sound engineers did such a fantastic job. We had some songs, and they rearranged them, shortened them, sped them up. Kenny and Steve had to go in the other room and write extra lyrics because they shortened. It was, and it all came into this wonderful, wonderful package. They blew our mind.
What would you say your favorite song off the EP is?
Well, the fastest one is Now You're Gone, so that's my favorite. Yeah, pretty easy.
Fastest and the most rocking one. What about you? What's your favorite song off the EP?
I think actually, it's not actually even on that EP. It was our first single that we released, which was Broken. That's probably my favorite, probably because it's the first, and probably because it kind of started the whole process of us starting, writing, really getting into and writing our original music. So, but, there's not a song on there that I don't enjoy, and hopefully everybody else likes it too.
All right, so can you tell us any upcoming performances that you guys are looking forward to or that you've done recently? Who would like to...
Well, our upcoming performances, we're playing Safety Harbor the third Friday, so that's going to be a week from this Friday. And then We're going to also play Dunedin on September 2nd, which is also a Friday. So we love that kind of show. Outdoors, families, our core fans are there, but all ages, and everybody gets into it. I love it when the little kids just start dancing to our stuff. And, and when the grandmas are rocking their heads, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
That's great. And if anybody wanted to buy your EP or listen to any of your music, or you guys have any music videos coming out, where can they find you? Or some old performances, where can they find it at?
Yep. So we're on Spotify, iTunes, all those traditional media outlets. So just look up The Outpatients. Fall from Grace is the EP, so you can go and listen to it on Spotify and all those places, YouTube, etc. And certainly you can download them from there too. We released 2 videos. Our first video was Coming Round. We did a live acoustic version of that in the most cool venue ever. It's called the Ice Factory. It's actually here locally in Clearwater. It's this old brick, literally, ice factory. They used to create ice, make ice there. So we recorded a live acoustic version of Coming Round there. You can go to our Facebook page or our Reverb Nation page, and you can see that. And then we also recorded, at the same time, we did a live shoot of Hold On, but what we did was kind of turn that into a music video. And put the live recording and change the video up a little bit too. So both of those are available on the Outpatients Facebook page as well as our Reverb Nation page.
And on your Facebook page is where you can find your upcoming performances?
Yep, you can find all our dates on there. Facebook's probably the best way. Our website is getting revamped as we speak, but Facebook's definitely the best place to go.
Yeah, you heard it, so you check it out there. And before we go, do you have any advice to any aspiring musicians that are either instrument players or songwriters? Any advice that you can give to them before we leave?
Well, I mean, I think Drago said it best. Follow your dreams. I always said to myself way back in the 90s, I said, writing music is the hardest thing in the world, and I had this mental block against writing music. I said, it's impossible, too hard, never do it. And then, the point is, it really isn't. You sort of set these barriers for yourself, and break down those barriers. Don't be afraid. When you're writing songs or creating music or anything artistic, Rob Thomas doesn't sit down and say, I'm gonna write a song like U2. Rob Thomas writes a song that's Rob Thomas's song, and like it or don't like it, it's Rob Thomas's song. So the biggest hurdle to get over is the anxiety of what are people going to think, and I can't do this, and is it good enough? Ken Jewell's going to go out and write a song that Ken Jewell thinks is good, and hopefully that works, and Tori Lewis is going to do a song that she thinks is good. So don't be inhibited by your own barriers. Just let it go, and if you have aspirations of doing it, do it, and you never know what's going to happen.
Great advice. And what about you?
Well, I have a lot of women that come up to me after shows and go, I love the bass. I've always wanted to play. And I tell them, go get a bass, go take lessons, and do it. There's no reason not to. It's never too late. We're never too old to learn new things. So just go do it. Wonderful. Anybody can do it.
That's great. And you guys should definitely check them out. They have some great music. You can also check out some of our live streams. So definitely check them out. Thank you guys for being on the show. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your time. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for more videos after the show.
Bye.